Hello friends, welcome back to Francesca's Books. My name is Francesca, these are my books, and here we talk about all things thriller books, and today I'm going to read for 24 hours. This is the very first time I've ever attempted a 24-hour reading vlog. I have a couple of days where I don't have any solid plans, so I thought it's finally time. I've been dying to carve some time out to do this, and I just decided literally like 1 hour ago. So I'm going to caveat, I am indeed going to sleep during this reading vlog. I'm also going to eat proper nutritious meals and go and get coffee as well. There is absolutely no way I could go for 24 hours straight without sleep, without caffeine, and without proper food like a lot of booktubers do, and absolute fair play to you guys, like genuinely fair play. I just could not do it. So I have some very exciting advanced titles in paperback, which is super exciting, from Lisa Jewell and Claire Douglas, and I have a couple more interesting ones as well that I'm going to get to during this vlog. But before we dive into those, I am indeed going to finish Look Closer by David Ellis. I'm about 2/3 of the way through this book, and since it has been so highly recommended to me, I thought I would read the last little bit as the start of this vlog before we dive into the new releases. So I'm going to go and get all comfy and cozy now, go get a coffee, go get some snacks, go get the books ready, and then I will tell you where I'm up to in Look Closer and what I'm thinking of it so far. As always, if you're looking for more thriller book recommendations, don't forget to subscribe to my channel where I release 2 videos a week talking about all the best thriller books that you should have your eye on. We are officially going. So for completion purposes and to know how many pages I actually read over the next 24 hours, we are starting on page 325 of Look Closer by David Ellis, which I am very much enjoying so far. So I feel like this is one of those books that the less you know going in, the better. Also, the plot is just kind of like a bit all over the place. It's not just like you pick up the book, this is what it's about. It's very, like, it's complicated, it's layered. There's a lot of moving parts to this book. So the main concept is we have our main couple, Simon and Vicky. They are married, they're maybe like 40s. They both have other people in their lives, let's say. They don't have any kids, but there's also other characters. So there's like a wealth manager character. One of them has a very complicated relationship with their mother and father, and there's just a lot kind of going on. So I've got 300 pages in and there's still a lot of setup. So the main like action of this book, I imagine, is going to be there is an unaliving that we're kind of building up to from all points of view. So we're told at the beginning who has been unalived, and we're kind of trying to work out who has done that going through the book. I'm being very careful not to spoil this, because if you know much more than that, I think it would ruin your experience. And since this is so highly rated, I imagine some of you guys may go and pick this up. So I'm just about to get to the actual like crux of the unaliving. Like the event is about to go down. It takes place on Halloween. That's not a spoiler. You find out at the start of the book. And it's been this like really spooky autumnal build up, and they're like, Halloween is the perfect time to unalive someone. Just wear a costume and go trick-or-treating. Why didn't I think of that? So I've got my snacks, I've got my coffee. I'm literally gonna put my hair up and get this book read. We're 1 hour and 40 minutes in. I've just finished Look Closer. I'm gonna collect my thoughts and then tell you I'm conflicted. Okay, thoughts collected, brain diffuse. I literally can never finish a book and then like articulate my feelings about it like immediately. I can be like, wow, it was good, or not sure, but I literally can't do any more than that. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm gonna caveat this by saying this was more of a mystery suspense than a classic thriller that I would tend to gravitate towards. And I think because of that, my expectation was something slightly different than what it was. However, I still very much enjoyed this book. Firstly, it was very intricately plotted. There was so many tiny little pieces that came together and just really worked. It was very attention to detail. There were consistent twists, more twists than I can probably count, and there was a huge unreliable narrator theme that like ran throughout the whole book. You also got like these different point of views, like very occasionally, like about 2/3 of the way through the book we just got this like other point of view, and I was like, oh, okay, this is where we're going. Final thoughts, really liked it. Very much enjoyed it. Definitely would recommend, but it wasn't a knockout for me. It wasn't a 5-star. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Before I choose the next book, taking a quick interlude to post on Instagram and TikTok because I would never leave you guys a full day with no post. So today's post is about books if you want your next book to be a 5-star read, and I picked like 6 titles which I gave 5-star and which were like obvious 5 stars for me, and then just popped those in a reel for you and told you if you like this kind of book, read this kind of book. You will not be surprised to know that they are from all of my favourite authors. These, of course, are the authors that I'm talking about. I'd probably say they're my 6 favourite authors of all time. Maybe. So the next book I'm going to pick up is a very exciting advance copy, and it is Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. I mean, are we seeing this? I got a physical copy of Lisa Jewell's new book that is due out in July 2025, so we are a good few months in advance for this one. It does look quite chunky, but I've had a look at the font and it's quite small. And I feel like a lot of Lisa Jewell books are printed like this, which I very much enjoy. Did I say small? I meant big. You know what I meant. Big font, like this. With these types of books, especially advanced copies, I literally want to go in completely blind. Like, I want to open the first page and not even know the main character's name. However, for the purposes of the vlog, I have read a little bit of the synopsis, and this follows one male main character who is connected to 3 different women in very different ways, and it is a domestic psychological thriller. I just have every faith in Lisa Jewell, and that is why I'm going to pick up this book next. There are 21 hours, 30 minutes remaining, so we're in a good place. I'm going to read for about another hour, and then I'm going to go and grab some dinner because I'm quite hungry. I also forgot to say that Lisa signed this, so it's an extra special copy. I genuinely don't know what it is. Page 7, the FMC's dad has died. Every single book that I pick up, I'm honestly in shock. Like, it's every other book our female main character's dad has died, and these authors, yeah, they don't go, oh, you know, what a horrible day. They go into detail and the funeral and the cause of death. And I get that it gives like a backstory to the FMC and it gives her like a vengeful purpose and it rounds them out as a character. I get that. I relate to that. But it's every single thriller book. Lisa Jewell, I thought better of you. Okay, so I'm about 40 pages in. I'm going to leave it there just for an hour or so. I'm going to go to my grandparents and have some dinner, which is very nice. But all that's happened so far is that this female main character's dad has obviously passed away. He has been murdered. He hasn't just passed away of natural causes. He has been unalived, and I imagine it's going to centre around him. So his name is Paddy, and a lot of the narrative seems to be drawing back to him. So we'll see how we go. Not very far in, can't really give any opinion yet. But Lisa Jewell's writing is fantastic, as always. So I'm very lucky. My grandparents live like 10 minutes away in the car, which is absolutely amazing. And on a serious note about the whole dead dad at the start of the book, of Lisa Jewell's new book, my grandparents actually were the people that got me through that, genuinely. So it feels fitting that I'm going to see them after having that, reading about that at the start of the book. The ones that entertain and the ones that observe. So I've had a really quick dinner and now I'm going on a very, very quick snack run so I can power through the rest of the night. So I am 90 pages in now, and there is a lot of characters in this book. I did have to Google some of the names because I was like, no, I thought that was, surely that was, I don't know. I feel like Lisa Jewell's books are known for their setup. There does tend to be quite a lot of characters in Lisa Jewell books. This isn't like a one-off situation. This is quite like her writing style, and she normally has multiple points of view that she runs with that run through like the entire book. It's not like bits here, bits there, like in Look Closer, where there's just like an odd chapter from a different character. She kind of like goes full force with these characters. But as always, her actual writing is brilliant. Like, I can't tell you that was the easiest 90 pages that I've read. It's just like a really easily digestible prose. Oh, look at me using big words. It's time. Up to page 180 and I'm going to take this party to bed. I'm getting a little bit tired. It is 10:30, but I have faith. I have faith, guys. Ready for another night of reading. I feel like this book is sponsored by Zoom. Like, every time they're like, oh, we should catch up, it's like over Zoom. Maybe it's like a post-COVID thing. Maybe this was written during COVID because otherwise I don't get it. These two women are trying to get in touch with this like woman who left a review for something. And when she messages back, they say, happy to chat on the phone or Zoom or whatever. But why? This is like the 5th time Zoom's been mentioned. Probably more. Maybe I should have counted. Quick time check. I was hoping to get a little bit more read. However, I'm 200 pages in now, so I don't think that's too bad. Despite my best efforts, guys, I'm falling asleep, so I'm going to resume tomorrow. Good morning, friends. It is such a nice day today, so I've just been reading in bed for a little while, and I'm starting to think all the male main characters in this book are actually the same person. I don't know whether that's something that I was supposed to get, or whether that's technically a spoiler, but that's just my thoughts, so nothing's actually happened yet, so please don't come for me. However, they're all like similar. They're so similar. Lisa, what are you doing to me? So I'm gonna go and have some breakfast now and get ready, and then I'm gonna set up somewhere that is not my bed, or I fear I may fall back to sleep. So we're set up ready to go. I've extended the timer so it's going to finish around at 7 p.m. tonight because I feel like I have not got the amount of reading done that I thought I would be able to in this like 24-hour period. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of an extra chance. So I feel like in a lot of these reading vlogs, people pause the timer when they're not reading and then obviously like resume it when they sit back down again. So in retrospect, maybe I should have done that, but I was thinking like that would last like 3 days and I don't have 3 days. So this is going to be a 24-hour-ish reading vlog. So if you're still here at this part in the vlog, I would love to know if you are going to pick up Don't Let Me In by Lisa Jewell. I have not read all of Lisa Jewell's book, hence not been able to do like a full ranking backlist. She has got so many books, like 20 plus. So I tend to just really like her newer releases. So let me know if you're going to give this one a go as well. Thoughts collected. I've had to like write notes because I don't want to misinterpret my review of this because it's gonna sound negative from the outset, but there were lots of positives, so let me just dive into it. So this was a wild ride. It was all about men behaving badly and the consequences of that. However, my frustration with it and with a lot of thriller authors at the moment is this is domestic noir, it's suspense. There is no thrill about this. It is a story of a man, several men and their wrongdoings to women and several women that get caught up in their charades and kind of like revenge and the power play and dynamics of that. There were no plot twists. Like none. I mean, maybe some people would class them as plot twists, but as somebody who's read more than like 5 thrillers, you would be able to think, oh, well, that's just where the plot's going. Like that just makes sense. Also, there were so many points of view. Like you needed your brain to be fully engaged during this book. And I do think Lisa Jewell does do this amongst her books. They are slightly more sophisticated in style than some other thriller authors. And I do really enjoy that. I love it. You just have to be in that headspace. And I think the way Lisa Jewell does this is she doesn't put character names at the start of chapters. So often when thriller authors are writing, they'll put like the character name so you kind of know where you're at and you know what you're doing. And for some somewhat obvious reasons, she didn't do that, but she doesn't do it across all of her books. That isn't just a this book thing. And I think that would have helped me personally. I was a good 200 pages in before I even realised like who was who. Also, I don't feel like I was rooting for any character in this book aside from Ash and Jane. They were fantastic. They had a great little duo going on. Every single other female character just didn't give me a reason to root for them really. And I also didn't understand the antagonist point of view, so the negative characters, let's say. I didn't understand their like reasons for being, like what was their motivation? Like, what are you trying to get out of this? Also, huge trigger warning for death of a parent. Already mentioned that, probably don't need to keep going over that. So in summary, I've never given a Lisa Jewell book less than 4 stars until now. I'm going with a 3.5. As a domestic suspense, this probably rates more like a 4. As a thriller, I'm kind of like on a 3.5. However, Lisa Jewell is amazing. I will hear no negative words about her. Her backlist is phenomenal. She has an amazing prose and a really digestible content. So I still recommend this author massively, just probably not this title as much. I think the other problem for me, which is a me thing, definitely not an author thing, is that these books were actually really, really similar. So if you've read Look Closer and enjoyed it, you will absolutely love this if you like that kind of style. As I mentioned in my Look Closer review, it read more like character driven, and that's definitely what this was. Both of these books involved affairs, cheating, power play, money obsessed characters, everybody stabbing each other in the back, but in a suspense way. I can't really explain it. The way both of these books were written were not to like blow your head off with a twist. They're to make you really despise the characters in them. So because of that, the next book that I was going to dive into in this 24-hour reading vlog was The New Neighbours by Claire Douglas. Another advanced copy, so it doesn't have the final cover. However, I really wanted to give you guys some advanced reviews, but the synopsis of this literally sounds the same again, and I'm not sure I can do it. Like 2 on the bounce was too much. I just don't know if I can read another book so similar. So I'm going to go with another thriller, but something completely different I have owned for a very long time. So this is an author who I've read quite a lot, really, really love, and this is her most highly rated book, so I thought, surely we can't lose. It's got a completely different plotline as well. So I'm going to read Hide and Seek by Andrea Mara, which was not released recently at all, so definitely deviating from the goal. However, this is rated higher than 4-star on Goodreads, so I just know I'm gonna have a fantastic time with it. It's a missing child story, so it starts off as a game of hide and seek, and then our female main character's daughter is just never found. And then years later, someone moves into the house that she used to live in before she was taken and uncovers some secrets. So I'm hoping this is gonna be a good one. So I'm gonna go and eat some pizza now and start this. So I've just been listening to the audio whilst drying my hair because I've had some normal tasks to do today, and this book is really, really impressing me. So similarly to the other 2 I've read, there is quite a lot of characters to keep track of, but this has been a lot easier than the other 2. They've been introduced a lot more slowly, I think is what it is, and that just makes the whole process a little bit easier. So the opening of this book made you feel like our FMC was about to lose her daughter in a game of hide and seek, but she actually just has a daughter similar age, and it's flashed back to the family that used to live in the house that she has just bought, and their daughter's actually gone missing. It was literally such a good opening. I was straight in there. There's already been like a fairly big plot twist. I was just like drying my hair and I was like, what? I don't know why I'm so surprised. Like, I really like Andrea Mara's writing style, so like obviously I was gonna like this, and this is literally her most highly rated book on Goodreads. I'm enjoying it, if you can't tell. So I am 46% of the way through this book, and I have an hour and 25 minutes left on the timer, so I think we can get it done. I'm going to play this really, really fast for the next 20 minutes, maybe like 2.5 times speed, and then I'm going to finish it physically. Guys, is there honestly a better feeling than getting into bed with fresh sheets? I mean, I would say after a hard day, but it's not really been a hard day. That is it, my friends. The 24-hour timer has finally run out. I think if I was to do this challenge again, I would do it like everyone else does it and only play the timer when I'm actually reading. I feel like it got a little bit confusing there towards the end because I was like, but I've been reading for nowhere near 24 hours, but I'm also on day 2. So consider this a trial run, a first 24-hour reading vlog, if you will. Next time, I'm just gonna do the same as everyone else. Hide and Seek by Andrea Mara. I absolutely loved this book. I absolutely loved it. It's a 5-star. It is literally a 5-star. This book had everything I'm looking for in a thriller book. Like, everything. The plot was complex, but like not too complex. There was a great number of characters that were introduced really slowly, which I love. I cannot stand it when there's too many characters at once. That really stresses me out. There was such a good dual timeline. So this was set in our current present day on the story of our female main character moving into this house where the child was kidnapped. And then we've got flashbacks of the actual kidnapping, and both of these plots ran parallel in like a really good time frame. Also, numerous twists that I didn't guess. Like, this one could have gone anywhere. Like, I wasn't sat there like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. but there were so many characters that I was suspicious of. Also, huge bonus points for one of the characters being called Fran. I was like, when is it my girl's turn again? I feel like on the front it says Even the Twists Have Twists by Lee Child. And I just feel like, yeah, you're onto something there. I literally got this book from a charity shop like 3 years ago and just never picked it up until this challenge, when I was like, I need something different to pick up. I need something different to get my teeth into than the first two. And I'm so glad I did. Like, this is one of those books that's kind of looks nondescript and could very easily have just sat on my shelves and just continued to gather dust. So let's wrap up the 24-hour reading vlog. I would say this had medium success. Medium. I think it was a success. I got quite a lot read. Really impressed because March has got to a fantastic start in terms of what I've read. But would I do something slightly different? Yes. Would I go out for dinner? No. Would I have prepared earlier the snacks and the books that I thought I wanted to read next? Yes. Would I have checked the Goodreads reviews of the books I'm picking up to make sure I had a great time? Yes. And most importantly, would I completely clear my diary and use the timer as a stop-start? Definitely yes. So firstly, I finished Look Closer by David Ellis, which I really, really liked. Solid 4-star read, but don't quite get the hype of everyone being like 6-star, 6-star, 6-star. Really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it actually, but 4-star. Then I read Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. This is an advanced copy of our next book coming out, I believe in July. Like this, good plot, definitely more suspense than thriller, and rated it. I'm gonna go with a 3 to a 3.5. I said 3.5 when I finished it, and then I was writing my review and I thought, so we're gonna go with 3 to 3.5. Although I do really love this actual physical book itself, like all this gold foiling and this colour is just absolutely beautiful. And then finally, Hide and Seek by Andrea Mara, I gave a shining 5 stars. This was so well deserved. If you've read any of these, I would love to know what you thought, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I cannot wait to see you next time.